You're the host, Andre.
Well, I don't. Oh, I thought Murphy was sort of walked us through this a little bit. Isn't that what he's
No.
doing?
He's throwing you to the
Okay.
wolves.
Perfect start.
I was
Perfect
gonna
start.
say, like, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure normally Murphy, like, nobody gave me any kind of primer on how to host this thing, so I don't get a guidebook or some kind of a pamphlet.
There's supposed
at
to be a
least.
blurb that
Usually there's like a one-pager.
Yeah.
Welcome
Oh.
to another edition of Trivial Debates. Your host is André Myette. Thanks for being with
professional.
us.
Hey, yeah. Thanks for
Today
being
we
here.
have a Marvel Cinematic themed universe episode featuring a whole bunch of contestants, including myself, Dave Mader, and Davan Skelhorn, and Jaemeel Robinson, with a host, fair and impartial Andre.
Hey, yes, thank you.
Fair and impartial and unprepared.
Well, nobody sent me how to do this. Maybe if I
Have you watched
ill
an episode
prepa-
before?
yeah,
My
but like
apologies,
there's
my
no
apologies.
if there's a
I
write
was-
up to read when we come in, nobody gave me that or told me
I
about it.
forgot to do that part. There is
Oh,
a write up where it's
Murphy, we
always
still
a
like
way
That
you.
would have
I
been
kinda-
incredibly useful. Thank you.
I overlook this part when producing this show. It's my biggest weakness.
This isn't my brand.
Every time I ever forgot to do that, the host was always like,
See,
crying
Murphy,
for
I
it.
never thought that was your biggest weakness. I thought it was your dashing good looks where
Because
I
nobody-
underestimated you. So
Because nobody gave me anything, I just assumed Murphy sort of guided us through it, but apparently I was woefully wrong about that.
Yeah. So yeah, we're here at Trivial Debates. Obviously, we're gonna have a nice little chat about Marvel Cinematic Universe with our host André Myette. Andre, I'm gonna step out. Keep it impartial. The danger room's ready.
So do you run the
just-
timer and stuff? Because like I was
right,
this is
timers. I
great.
forgot about those.
Oh my God.
Jeez, thank
What did
so
you
much
remember,
for
Murphy? Like, that's more, I think, going to
remembered,
be...
like the images
Pads.
and the
Pads.
questions and
Yeah,
the-
he spent all his time playing with AI and forgot all the important things. That's what happened.
But he could've
Surprised
just
to know
went
this
to you about
episode is
AI, Mr. AI
free,
Master.
Sir. This episode's actually AI free, so you should be pleased to know that.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Qapla'.
that being said,
Victory.
Qapla' indeed. Here's the 1 minute opening thing. I'm gonna dip out. Andre, your starting category is TV, so you just read the question. And
Are you
then,
sure?
Yeah. And then I've got a list here. You'll start with.
We're starting on
Dave.
TV? Okay.
Are we? Do we want to?
It's highly
Yes,
unorthodox.
that's how it was sent to me when the questions were.
Sure, we can do that.
That's whatever works for you guys.
Traditionally, it'd be movies would be the first round.
Oh well, this seems to be a highly untraditional episode.
It does seem to be untraditional. So yes, let's
It's
go with that.
great so far.
To be fair, this all just came together last minute. I've got a.
It's all ethereal. Nothing means anything. I mean, what's the
Yeah.
purpose? It's
No,
all.
it is
Oh no! Don't get Andre started on the what does it all mean?
What does it all
Nothing
mean,
matters.
guys? I mean,
This
what are we
is half of
debating here?
X-rated.
People are dying in the world, and we're arguing about Marvel Universe shit. I mean,
If you want to
come
hear
on.
Andre get depressing,
all right,
check
let's
out
just-
X-rated, the X-Men animated.
All right,
graphic
so-
histories.
So there's a timer, right? How does that work?
Murphy's got that.
Okay,
Okay,
is
so
he-
yeah, I've got a timer. I'll add it to the stage. I got everything like laid out on my side. All you have to do is listen to the cues like this, and then proceed to read the question, and then pick somebody to. Oh, is this looping? Oh, okay. And yeah, basically. Listen, it's been a minute. Okay, I haven't done this since November.
Are we doing it next month? Do we know if we're doing it next month?
Yes.
I don't know about that. Okay,
Okay.
so I just asked this question. He hits the bing, and we go. All right. The
All
TV
right.
question is: which MCU series has the best cast of supporting characters? And as we discussed before, the Netflix shows are canon, so they count as well. And do I just pick someone, or does Dave?
I can go first. Sure.
Sure.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my answer for this question. This I didn't even have to really think that hard about it when the question was presented. I am going with the Loki show, all 2 seasons, starring Tom Hiddleston and a great supporting cast of characters. I'd say headlined by Owen Wilson as Mobius. We got a great villain in Ravonna Renslayer, played by I can't say her name very well. Gugu Mbatha Raw. You got Tara Strong. You got Sophia DiMartino as the alternate universe version of Loki, also known as Sylvie. Hunter B-15 played Wonmumi Masuku. Eugene Cordero from Star Trek Lower Decks is in this as Casey, and even his delivery in that very first episode where he's like, "What's your name?" He goes, "Casey," and just like everything about this crew works so well. In the second season, they bring in Ki Hwan as Ouroboros, which just makes this cast even better. I really loved this cast; it works so well together, and it was a great addition with all of like the decor and set pieces. And I'm out of time, but I could go on all day.
Thank you very much, Dave. And next up, Jaemeel, same question.
Yeah, high energy answer. My choice was Luke Cage. It was pretty straightforward for me. The cast is really great. I'm going to mispronounce names in my typical Murphy fashion. You had Alfred Woodward. You have Rosario Dawson, Mahershala Ali. I'm sorry,
Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali. Yeah. You have Simone Misak. You have was it
Theo Rossi?
Theo Rossi, yeah. Jessica Hardwick. A lot of great people. I'm going to talk more about it later on. Enjoy, everyone.
So good. So good. His entry is so definitive. He just gave up like 15 seconds of a talk.
Was that giving up? No, I'm just giving back my time because we're going to get into the debate portion of it. So.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Well, Davan, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get it on.
So can you repeat the question for me, please?
Which MCU series, TV series, has the best cast of supporting characters?
Great. So Jameel's picks were all just the cast, not the supporting cast, the main cast. So let's not even talk about Luke Cage right now. So
we'll talk about it later.
I picked She-Hulk because we have the main cast. We have there's your main cast right there. You have Tatiana Maslany and Ginger Gonzaga and that's basically your main cast. Now your supporting cast of She-Hulk, we have Tim Roth, movie star. Mark Ruffalo, movie star. Charlie Cox, leading man. Who else we got? We got Mark Lynn Baker. Isn't that his name? From Perfect Strangers. Goose and Laddie was in this movie. In this show. Like, this is just your supporting cast. Benedict Wong is in this. Like, this is your supporting cast of this show.
He is.
And Madison. Madison with the Y. Not where you think.
Stop.
No,
Judge, can you please strike the last bit of information provided it wasn't during the time?
You don't strike Madison. You do not strike Madison.
From I thought you said BD Wong, but it was actually Benedict Wong.
No,
right?
Benedict Wong. I said.
Yeah, I was going to say BD Wong.
BD Wong was
Murphy, Murphy, aren't you, Davin? Huh?
I imagine those two get confused quite often. So it's all right. So debate.
4 minutes open debate.
Can I ask a question to the judge for a second?
I will allow it.
When, let's say, people were up for awards, would Alfred Woodard be going up for, best actress in a television series, or would she be going for best supporting actress?
Best supporting actress for sure.
Thank you.
She would not. She's not the lead character of that show. Are you out of here? Yeah, like
she's one of the leads.
So
the lead of the show is Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Is there only one lead in every show? That's ridiculous.
Usually,
no. There's usually like a few.
There's best actress.
So in
only
Star Trek, William
X-Men.
Shatner's the lead, or is it the triumvirate of?
If it's a team, it's a different thing. But the show is called Luke Cage, therefore Luke Cage is the title character. Same with Loki. Take Tom Hiddleston off the board. We don't even the rest of them are amazing, and they hadn't been in anything MCU before, and they all went into their different characters so well. In my particular show, you knew exactly what they were about, or you got to learn so much more about them in an interesting, fun way. In particular, I think Owen Wilson was a breakout performance in this. Something very fun and different, even though he's kind of doing
different.
It is. It
It's
is.
the same thing. It's
Owen Wilson playing Owen Wilson was
No, but in a
different.
fun way.
Like, are
But
you
with a
kidding me?
mustache.
It was fun
He's
in
got
the
a
Yeah,
mustache
of course,
and
the
gray
mustache
hair.
was a big difference.
It was fun in a way because we got to see Owen Wilson play Owen Wilson in a comic book verse type of show. That's the only reason why. Dave, come on.
That's maybe one of the reasons, but we don't stop
It is
there.
primarily the reason.
How about
But
Tara
go on.
Strong?
Tara Strong, yes.
Yeah, what?
The line is Tara Strong. Continue.
Tara Strong, really amazing voice actor of her generation. The voice of Harley Quinn, if I'm not mistaken, Canadian too.
Great voice actress. No
Yeah,
doubt,
Miss
but-
Minutes is a
Miss Minutes is
devious
weird.
character, great villain character, brought to life by Tara Strong.
No, look. Can we talk more about Madison with a Y? Like what a great character that was.
No.
Her and Benedict Wong were having a great romps in that, and like that's just a whole side
This
plot.
is who you're
You
holding
got
up.
Jaemeel and
Madison with a
Jaemeel.
Y,
You got
and-
Jaemeel playing freaking Titania. By
No,
Titania.
come on, guys.
It's
Guys,
fantastic stuff. Tim Roth, and then they go to his friggin' farm, and it's just him and a bunch of other sweet cameo actors.
Forgettable.
Like-
It's too campy. Your shows are more forgettable than my show. My show is a product of an amazing cast and writing team, set design, the whole package. And
Set
Luke
design,
Cage,
no. We're
Luke
not talking
Cage is
about set design.
not that strong of a show.
Both of
I-
our shows are better than your show.
I got bored of.
What are you
She-Hulk.
talking about?
She-Hulk was awful. Like it was not a good show.
How
Let's-
dare you,
let's-
sir?
Oh,
How
I
dare
say
you?
it. I know.
How
We
many
I'm-
strike
I'm-
that from
How
the
many
record.
seasons did She-Hulk get?
How many seasons?
Yes.
Only one.
One.
Okay. Yeah. Devin, how many seasons did your show get?
Look, I'm on the Luke Cage train with you. I'm there with you, Jaemeel, but
Two
not in
seasons.
your not in your cast of supporting characters. That show was Alfred Woodard, Mike Coulter, and Mahershala Ali. And like every now and then Misty Knight gets to do something, but there's not this great
Gets to
cast
do
of supporting
something.
characters.
Yes.
Well,
this
Theo
is
There's not
very
Rossi.
bad.
the
from
the
Sons of
villains are
Anarchy.
what?
See,
He didn't do Shades. He was
Shades.
forgettable in that.
Shades was awesome. Shades was awesome. You got the best version of Iron Fist. Both Iron Fists, I might add. Both Iron Fists.
I got Ouroboros.
Mark Ruffalo shows up and they have their hulking together on the island.
And he
That's
became
great
a meme.
stuff. And like,
He gave more of a point of comment about how poorly.
isn't memes a sign of success in this world now? I don't know.
I got
It's
the
a-
guy
it's a-
coming
it's a
off
sense of
of
mockery.
winning for
Alfred
Everything
Ro-
Everywhere All at Once.
Woodward was
Ki-Hee
great.
Kwan.
Holly Ali. I can't even pronounce his name properly.
Your cast is too small, Jaemeel, and it's basically the main
Small
cast of
and
the
tight.
show.
Small and tight.
and
Yours,
forgettable.
Dave,
Just an elaborate one does not.
forgettable cast.
Hardly. Everyone thinks.
No, not
that's
yours.
great.
Not yours.
I
Dave's
forgot
is
that Rosario
forgettable.
Dawson was in that show until you told me. I was like, oh yeah,
The
So did
Rosario
I.
Dawson was
The
on
Night
the
Yeah,
show.
Nurse?
Claire
No.
Temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a you problem.
Well, that's because she
not a
was
show
in
problem.
all of those shows, though. Like,
Yes.
so like that's not a big
And
thing.
it was
Like
the
adding
best
her to your
version
show
of
in those.
that
You guys
character.
know I have
She's
the
in all
best
those
show
networks.
here. You
You
know I got the
don't,
best
by far.
cast.
Because
By
you
far.
I don't have the best cast. I have movie stars all through my
As
cast.
do I. As do I. Mine has all
Yeah.
movie stars.
But they're doing nothing with it.
They're doing nothing.
Yeah.
2 seasons, friend.
All right. Well, that was a spirited debate, and as much.
I'm disgusted.
And I mean,
Right.
as much fun as arguing about what the definition of a supporting cast is, I guess it is fair to weigh that in as well. Davin, I do agree. Like solid choices from everyone. Solid choices from everyone.
Even Dave.
Davin, I do agree. I did love She-Hulk. Dave, I'm sorry. It is a really great show.
Great show.
In my opinion. Although a lot of the people that you claim, I guess supporting cast to me are the people that are generally on the show all the way through. Many of the people that you claim are supporting cast, I would call guest stars because they're only in like an episode or two and then they're gone. And like in a back row.
Did this wrong. See, I thought what you called supporting stars, I called the main cast.
Who was the lawyer who worked with her? The guy who was always
Pug.
an idiot.
Pug.
Oh yeah, Pug. He was great too.
He was great too, but you know, the only one who like of her supporting cast that got the most attention really would have been her friend there, and that was like the rest of them sort of like Pug even didn't have a ton to do with the show.
No,
No.
they were all kind of just background, like and sort of like just there for the joke or whatever.
But
they
that's what I'm
didn't-
talking about. Like there was She-Hulk and then her supporting cast, which was this huge.
Do I
cast.
defend She-Hulk? Because I disagree with that assessment.
I do love She-Hulk, so it's fair. We don't
I
need to
think-
get into
I
that.
think they all played an important part of supporting the main character, which is, Jen in this. So
Yeah, I do really like Loki as well. Loki's a great show, fantastic show.
I love all
finished-
these
I haven't
shows.
finished season 2 yet, so I can't be as fair in that. But it is well cast, and it does tell one hell of a story. Although I do feel like the story is mostly around Loki and She-Loki or Sylvie.
Oh. Andre, I have to agree that all three of us picked good choices.
Oh, agree. Jaemeel, you forgot Willa Stryker, who plays Diamondback, who was fantastic in that show as well. But I do agree with Jaemeel. Jameel's the winner in this one. I think that Luke Cage had the best supporting cast. It was a great cast of characters. I really cared about them, even Mahershala Ali, and I was so sad.
However I
I
put
felt
out.
like they
Mahershala Ali stole the show.
You mean
They made-
Blade? Do you mean Blade?
Not quite yet, but yes.
No,
Um,
Cotton
and,
Blade.
And like what they did with him in season 1 was amazing. And
I'd even mention Pops as well. Pops, is
yeah,
great.
and
Pops was great.
yeah, all the supporting cast was fantastic in that show, and I'm hoping that now that it's open, that we'll get more of it. We'll see. I don't know.
Cancel Evil.
Is that show Evil still on? Then my Colts or
It's
something?
still on. They need to
Okay.
cancel that show. Oh my god.
All right. Well, maybe when eventually it ends, then we'll get Luke Cage back, which would be nice.
That would
But
be
anyway,
nice.
well debated, guys. Solid choices.
All right.
I love you all.
Where are we next?
All right.
Movies.
Question number 2 is our movie question.
Okay.
Which sub-franchise has the best film? So what I mean by this is like all the Thor movies, all the Iron Man movies, would be the sub-franchise.
You don't need all the Thor movies because no one chose that.
Well, I'm using it purely as an example. So do we go in the same order every time, or does it matter?
Nope.
All right,
Usually
Davan, you're the
rotates.
first to my window, so you go first.
Well, I have the right answer. So anyway, everybody knows this. The best trilogy, because most of them ended trilogy, except for Thor, but nobody picked that, is Captain America. Look, Captain America 1 is the best of the origin stories. Some may say Iron Man, but like as far as like building up an origin for the character, I think, and it has a lot of rewatchability. It's a fun movie. Whereas Iron Man, I don't find it's quite as rewatchable, but again, a great movie. But in the then we move on to the second one, which is the best movie in the entire MCU. So like Winter Soldier could win this debate all on its own. It is a fantastic movie. Remove superheroes, and it's still a great movie. Put superheroes back in, it's even a better movie, which it was. It's fantastic. And then most of these trilogies kind of fumble somewhere along the lines, whether it's the second or third one. Captain America doesn't do that. Civil War is a great movie. We get Spider-Man. We get to see all these characters kind of battle it out, really display superhero combat. And there's a lot of weight and heart to the story.
Strike the last message, please.
What do you hear?
Stricken from the record.
There's a grace period. It's fine. Nothing can truly be stricken from the record.
My-
All right.
I have lag. I'm in Nova Scotia.
So much.
Don't blame Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia. Okay, here we go. Well, I'm just going to jump right in as my minute seems to be starting. I went with the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, which just wrapped up this year. Guardians 1, 2, and 3. I think that this is the strongest trilogy of all of the sub-franchises, and it's not even really close because I think all of the other franchises have a movie that is not as good, to Davin's point. I think in the Captain America case, it's the first film. I think in the Iron Man movies, we all know, well, the second movie's not great. The third movie's not great either. A lot of the other franchises only have about 2 if they have more than 1 at all. And I think the Guardians of the Galaxy one is the one that is consistently the best. They of the most heart. They gave us a bunch of characters that largely the mainstream public was unfamiliar with going into the release of that movie back in 2014. And we have latched onto these characters. What's also great about these movies is that they take place in space. They don't necessarily always tie into what's going on on Earth and with all the other superheroes. They kind of live in their own province of the universe, their own little aside, and it has the most feels by far. It's great cast, great.
Dave, bonus
everything.
points for using the word province.
Yes.
All right. Jaemeel, you're up. Let's see that exuberant, high energy attitude that you brought to this entire.
I'll keep this short. Judge, can you please repeat the question?
Which sub franchise has the best films?
Okay, franchise. Franchise doesn't necessarily mean 3 movies. I picked Black Panther. It's pretty straightforward. You have a Best Picture nominee. You also have a Best Actress. Sorry, Best Supporting Actress winner as well. Oh, sorry, nominee also including this movie series. Both excellent movie, both excellent scores. It's by far the best series. It has the better track record. It has the better overall close knit story between the two movies. It's not even close. Black Panther, your choice for best franchise in the MCU. I return the rest of my time.
I'll take it. That's ridiculous, Jaemeel. Like I like the second
we're gonna
one.
debate in a minute. We're gonna debate. This one. Come on now. Put those gloves back on, buddy. All right, so scrappy. I like it. All right, so now we have 4 minutes of open debate. Is that correct?
Correct.
Let's.
All right, I'm going in on both of you guys. Dave, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is utterly forgettable. Utterly
it's not.
forgettable.
It's great.
It absolutely is. It's
Kurt Russell's
Iron Man
amazing
2 is
in it.
better
I
than
love that
Guardians of
movie.
the Galaxy 2.
The movie when he turns on his dad, that's the movie that brings in Mantis. Is one of my favorite characters in the.
Yeah, Mantis is cool, but like Baby Groot was a bit cheesy.
The ending there with Yondu and
Drax was played out by that point. Like no one cared about Ego. Like Ego and his father. Everything has to be a friggin' father, or a brother, or a mother, or sister of everything.
No, it was great. It was great how they teased that at the end of the first movie, and then they completely paid it off in the second movie, and then we had a whole new dynamic in the third movie.
The weird thing about it has the best through line through all the franchises. That's ridiculous. Captain America saves the world in World War II, is frozen, wakes up. His friend from World War II had been active the entire time. And then he has to come there's nothing more emotional than Winter Soldier. There's nothing. Guardians of the Galaxy can't hold a candle to Winter Soldier.
I love the Winter Soldier and Captain America: Civil War. Those are two of my favorite MCU movies. But the first movie is not that great. It's not that great.
It actually is. When's the last time you watched it?
Too long ago.
It's really good. It's like
it's got too much of that star-spangled rah America.
Sorry, Star-Spangled
montage. That's one montage.
Star-Spangled Man. Okay,
no, that movie is the strength of like when he jumps on a grenade with his helmet.
Regardless of how I feel about how my choices are, you will not besmirch the Star-Spangled Man song.
I will besmirch it.
Star-Spangled Man. No, you can't. And Jaemeel, look. You picked two movies. You're trying to win this on the strength of the first Black Panther, but it's not as good as the Winter Soldier. It's a good movie. The second one's good, but a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like it. It was hit or miss with people.
None of your movies were a movement. None of your movies were a movement.
A movement.
Oh, it was
really?
It absolutely was.
So people
Civil War was
how
huge.
Much did enlistment go up? How much did enlistment go up?
You didn't lose your shit when you saw Spider-Man for the first time in Civil War. It says Queens, New York.
Sure, I did. And I love those two movies, but the first movie is not as good. It's one of my least favorite.
It's better than Guardians 2, and it's probably better than Black Panther 2.
Just to pivot to Black Panther, which I find is an interesting choice, Jaemeel. But
interesting.
These two movies are so I have such different feelings about them when I think about them.
Yes, different feelings. Enjoy the feelings that it elicits. These movies, as opposed to Guardians, which just feels so like manipulative, like they're trying to we'll play father and son just to,
and they're so samey
years
out of they're the same movie three times.
But which has
we
the
get
best
our
films?
Updated soundtrack? Like it's the same movie three times.
Films?
Like
I'm sorry.
Whereas Captain America, we get this heartfelt war kind of time movie, and then we get this like spy thriller, super intense, and then we get this big bang superhero spectacular. It's the most diverse of the three.
All the nominations that Guardians of the Galaxy have.
I'm sure.
Special effects for
none.
Oh my god!
Kudos.
If all of these debates try to like descend into what won awards, then like you're holding award shows at far too high.
I'm just saying their peers in the industry recognized its excellence, and I don't hear anyone refuting.
The Academy doesn't know shit about superhero movies. The people who watch Marvel movies will tell you Winter Soldier's the best.
I think the nominations were a bit emotional in response to
illicit emotions.
Of a beloved actor.
Great point about Black Panther. People showed up Black Panther 2 dressed in white. Communities dressed in white.
People love the
Black Panther 2 doesn't land as hard if Chadwick Boseman's still alive.
People love all these movies. Like that's that. I don't think that's only Black Panther that can claim that. But
how did Guardians
most diverse, best movies?
Well, Guardians
best performance. The Captain America, like keep him as Chris Evans, Captain America.
Decision. Thank you.
All right. Well, once again, strong debate from everybody, and the tensions run high. I love it. All right. Well, this is a tough one. I love how one of Davin's arguments, he goes, he's like, in Guardians, everything's got to be connected. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. Meanwhile, on Captain America, Iron Man's parents are killed by the Winter Soldier. That's the only way that connects everything around. It comes back to Civil War.
Yeah.
So
They didn't say that, though. You did.
I know. But I could not think about
Captain
it.
America.
I thought it.
Captain America, great movies. Although I feel like as far as a franchise that goes through and gives you like growth of characters that you can see actually change from the start to the end. Captain America 1, and like he's already a fully formed, perfect person by the end of 1. 2 is a great movie, fantastic movie. 3 is really an Avengers movie. There's nothing about
they're
Captain
all
America.
different.
Yeah, they are. But because of it, it's not going to be my pick. But I do think it's a great choice, Steph. I'm sorry. Jaemeel.
But it's the strength of the debates, not what you think coming in.
Fair enough. But nothing you said like made me dismiss that. Jaemeel, I love Black Panther. They're fantastic movies. The second one, the soundtrack in the first one is fantastic. And the second one did give me Submariner, which is one of my favorite Marvel characters. So I was very excited about that as well. However, you did say that Guardians seem to just put in a bunch of sentimental claptrap to grab people, and it certainly grabbed me. So the first,
I stated that it was.
Let's have a funeral for a guy who actually died in our movie. Oh, that's sentimental.
Well, no, it did. But the last movie that actually made me cry watching it was Guardians 3. And before that, it was probably Guardians 2. So, like, actually, before that, it was probably Suicide Squad, also by James Gunn. But they're both, I don't know, the emotional through line, the characters are quite different by the end. You see them all grow, and you get a happy. Well, I mean, I know there's more for Star-Lord, but for all the characters, they do. It was like all picks are great. Nobody came at me with
You're wrong, but it was a good pick.
Nobody was coming at me with Captain Marvel.
Well, Thor has 4 movies, but there's 2 in there that I like.
One picked Iron Man, which I'm proud of everyone for not doing.
It would be so hard
because Iron Man 2 is just complete garbage,
and Iron Man 3 is not been good.
No, Iron Man 3 is great. Stop it, Dave.
I do like Iron Man 3, but anyway, so winner of this round,
Iron Man.
Dave. Thank you for Dave choosing Guardians of the Galaxy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I have to pick something that Davan said so that we keep it even all the way across. I'm kidding. All right, next
it's not going to happen. He's not going to win.
We're going into music. This is going to get
not winning that one.
It's not looking good, I'll tell you that.
Pull out the drums, Davan.
Which property, movie, or TV show, either or, has the best needle drops? So use of popular music.
So I'm next, I assume, because I'm
Sure, Drew. You're next in line.
Same high energy provided. I'll give up my time just a second. I had to reread this question because I had a little bit of difficulty with it, especially the use of popular music, and then it just clicked. It's so simple, it's so obvious. It's Hawkeye. With the amount of Christmas songs featured in this show, it's not even a debate. We should end this early and just move on to the next category, right?
You wish.
I wish the 2 other contestants can provide songs that are played and as popular as the songs I'm going to mention throughout the debate.
I'll give up
the rest of my time.
Oh yeah, you should. You're going to need it, but.
No, you're both gonna need it.
All right,
you're both wrong. You're both so wrong.
Davan, you're up.
There is only one answer to this, and we've already talked about this show tonight. It's Luke Cage. It's the only show in MCU history that is so not reliant, but it's like so enhanced by the music. Like every time they go to Cottonmouth's bar, what was it? I forget what it was called now. Harlem's something. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, there's so many live musical acts in that show. I've never seen another show like it. They've like friggin' Charles Bradley, man, ain't it a cinch? R.I.P. Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings. Friggin' Raphael Sadiq, Faith Evans, the Delphonics, the Wu-Tang Clan, man. It's just like every episode, that was what I was looking forward to the most, and I enjoyed everything else about that show, but I wanted to see who was playing in Harlem's Paradise. That's what it was called. And oh my God, it was like when Charles Bradley showed up and Sharon Jones, I almost lost my shit. Like there was the best thing in every one of those episodes was the live musical performances. The freaking Wu-Tang Clan, you kidding me? Like, and there were live performances.
Strike the rest.
It was fantastic. It was fantastic.
Strike the last comment, Andre, please.
stricken from the record. I like how Davan uses the rattling of ice.
Throw me in.
All right, you're
All right.
in. Ding ding.
All right. My pick for this category is once again the Guardians of the Galaxy. Starting here with Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix Volume 1, which if there's anything in the MCU that's more associated with the best needle drops and the best use of popular music, it's Guardians of the Galaxy, starting with their first soundtrack in their first movie, which has 12 amazing songs like Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Spirit in the Sky, I Want You Back by the Jackson 5, we got Come and Get Your Love by Redbone. There's so many amazing songs. This album sold what certified platinum. It was the second best selling soundtrack of 2014, only behind Frozen. Remember that Let It Go song? That's the only thing that could beat this in terms of sales in that year. Then you get to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which is the whole new album that Star-Lord gets in the second movie, from his mom, because he only had that one tape when he left the planet, right?
What was in Volume 2?
The first soundtrack is. Then he gets all these new songs in the second one. I listened to both those albums over and over again. I'm not even to the third movie yet. The third soundtrack.
Wait, you can talk about it in the debates, which are coming up. All right, so we now have 4 minutes of spirited debate. Let's keep it clean, gentlemen, and get it on.
Guardians of the Galaxy got the best by far.
No. Come on.
All right. We go. Look,
You're
crazy, Dave. The first one was cool and a new thing, but honestly, after that, I know James Gunn loves to make his movies and stuff and all the characters about him, but I don't need to know what James Gunn's playlists are. Like I don't care. I don't care. Hey, if I can see Charles Bradley
Lakeshore Drive
for a song,
you got The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. You
got the now late Sharon
Jones.
Jones. I can watch Luke Cage and see
Father and Son
Sharon Jones, who's no longer with us, sing a
movie.
song incomplete.
It's like James Gunn was like, "Hey, you know what worked for Quentin Tarantino? I'm just gonna get my playlist and just craft
one of the most successful.
It was eye rolling by the second movie.
One of the best uses of popular music
eye rolling by the
second in the 1990s.
Do something different. The three Guardians of the Galaxy movies are the same thing three times. It's the same thing.
Volume 3.
Luke Cage. Every time they go into Harlem's Paradise, which is every episode.
Volume 3 has some great songs on it. Like not as strong as
his eye shift. Look at his eye shift.
Yeah, I know. He's Googling right now.
Badlands by Bruce Springsteen. There's some good songs.
Because nobody cares. No one cares about the second one either. Everyone knows "Come and Get Your Love" from the first one. And that's about it.
What about Moon Age?
That's all anyone really remembers.
No one
cares your love.
What about "Come and Get Your Love"? That's when he's singing and dancing.
What was the song that started?
Hooked on a Feeling. And Hooked on a Feeling. That's it.
Movie.
They used "Spirit in the Sky" in the trailer.
What was the song that starts off the second movie?
Dave,
he'll never be able to mention it because it's forgettable.
Live. Come on now.
I'm not. These are the notes. These are the notes I made before the show.
What is the song that starts off the second movie?
You'll never be able to. I've forgotten like we all have.
The blue orchestra.
Can't even think of it.
I know what it is.
Mr. Blues.
Look at that. You'd even know. Anyways, now on to Davan, because Dave, you just kind of embarrassed yourself. I appreciate you. You're a good person.
I'm waiting on the floor with you guys in this round.
No,
That's
you're not.
The reality of it. What do you? What's your pick again, Jaemeel?
Hawkeye.
Come on,
Jaemeel. I don't even know what to say to you, bud.
Like a bunch of
I don't even know what to say. Why? Because there was like a Christmas feel to it. Name 3 songs in that.
I don't even remember any song.
The Christmas
song. No, I don't either.
Nat King Cole, right?
Oh my god! You're putting that against the Guardians, like
yes, I am.
The use of the soundtrack.
You're holding an old ass recording of Nat King Cole to live performances by Charles Bradley, Faith Evans, the Wu-Tang Clan,
just because
Sharon Jones and the Dap King.
I haven't heard of most of those.
Raphael Sadiq.
Most of those are not popular,
but those are not popular music.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's the people I just mentioned aren't popular music.
Correct.
They're not popular music.
You guys love award shows. Go look at what Sharon Jones and Charles Bradley have won. Go look at what the Wu-Tang Clan have won. Are you crazy?
Did they win
the Wu-Tang Clan is not popular music.
Did they win Best
Wu-Tang
Pop
is the
Album?
most of everyone you named. Yeah, but even there, like I wouldn't call them.
Charles Bradley is huge. He was like the second. He died too.
Mr.
Like there's 2 dead artists now that we can go back on Luke Cage and see, and they are some of the best.
Right, Save the City from the Steve Rogers the musical is just amazing and is played every day at Disneyland. Right, played a lot more than anything.
Is it really?
Have.
We're bored by your pick already, Jaemeel.
You're
Nat
bored
King
because-
Cole and a bunch of boring like
Because
background
what is
Christmas
superior
music.
is often just too
No.
much for many to handle.
Most of it was just
What
like,
other show, especially in the
long.
MCU, do you get to see live performances by the best musicians at their craft? Like, are you
in the
kidding me?
Guardians of the
Hawkeye-
Galaxy?
Hawkeye,
like,
once again,
like when,
Anthony Rapp
like
does
in the
Save the
Christmas
City
special.
in Steve Rogers'
Anthony
musical.
Rapp.
Thank you
Love
very
it.
much. You're welcome, everyone. I will take my point.
remember when Kevin
Andre, it
Bacon
was a
sang
great
that Christmas
time having
song?
you
in
as
Guardians
Dave,
of
you
the
don't know
Galaxy?
anything from Guardians 2 or 3. You just back off.
Yeah.
You're not
I know
even in.
everything. What these guys are absurd.
Kevin, the
Andre.
first or Dave, the song that opens Guardians 2 is "The Chain" by Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, it is.
Which is fantastic stuff.
No,
This is a great song, yeah.
when they're fighting the big monster thing.
Yeah,
Isn't that-
doom,
That's the
doom,
Chain.
doom, 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 doom. That's the Chain by Fleetwood Mac.
No,
Yeah.
Mr. Blue Sky, they fight
No,
the
I'm
monster
right.
too.
No,
Dave's
no,
right.
no.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Blue Sky that starts out that
Yeah.
movie.
Dave wasn't
Yeah,
right.
Oh, no, you are right. You are right. You are right.
No, Dave wasn't right.
I
I said it, and then Dave said it afterwards.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
You can check the tape. It's fine.
So is
Yeah,
this
check
about
it.
like memorization of facts? Is this?
No, it's about how memorable it is.
yeah,
Listen,
It's great.
all right. You guys spent the majority of the time just trying to tear Dave down more than actually arguing your own.
I know I got the best.
No, I've made many
well,
points.
Andre, I felt that I didn't need to argue that much for mine because mine was
Nat King
arms and
Cole. It's all
shoulders.
there for you.
I mean,
Mr.
that King
Nat
Cole's
King Cole.
great.
That King Cole.
And hey, listen, the third Guardians movie has a
I
lot
love
of
that
stuff from
King
the
Cole.
90s, which obviously is something that appeals to me greatly. Space Hog,
Yeah.
in the meantime, is a fantastic song. And when I on regular,
You could have argued his points quite well.
I could have. Dave, Jaemeel, I love Christmas music, but I don't know if the strength of Christmas music. Oh man, this is a tough one. You guys are really tight. It is tough. Christmas music is quite popular. And Davan, I do love all of the artists you mentioned. I'm a big fan of.
I do
Jack.
too.
Not to mention their live performance. You don't
know,
get that.
I
You
know,
don't get that.
but
They're
there's
not
just
needle-probes.
so much more of it in the Guardians movies. So I'm gonna have to give it to Dave. I'm sorry.
Just because
What?
there's more, not even
No. Not well, wholly that, but I mean, of all those albums and how
That was the worst pick you could have made here.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I just
Honestly,
done.
Andre, you're
I would
wise.
preferred you give it
Andre,
to
you're-
Davan than oh my gosh, wow.
The fix is in.
Yeah.
No, but listen, if you think about this is what it boils down to. If you think about what franchise is defined by the music that you think of when you think of popular music in its use, I don't think about either of yours, and I think about Guardians.
But Dave argued his horribly, and we argued.
No. You guys knew it. No, he argued it fine, but you guys knew that he was the strongest contender. So you spent most
No, I
of your time
disagree.
trying to tear
I
him
thought it
down.
was the most absurd. That's why I.
These guys
Yeah,
will
me
never
too.
concede.
I
They,
thought it was
they
the
always
most
think they're
cliche.
right. Don't worry.
That's fine.
Like,
That's
they're-
fair. That's fine.
This is
Decision
just,
made.
Ding,
Ding,
host
ding.
bashing.
Luke Cage gives you a live concert that's better than Woodstock, and this is like, no,
I
that's
didn't
not.
even get through that show. It was so boring.
All right,
Dave,
we're on-
you should take a point away just because of that. Oh, my
I
God.
should actually, but anyway, up to sports. So if the MCU brought in the UCWF, the Unlimited Class Wrestling Federation, as introduced in John Byrne's Thing Run for Fantastic Four from the comics, what current MCU character would be champion? Would be like wrestling champion.
It doesn't matter to me.
This one had the
Dave,
most
you're up.
debate, the most episode debate on what to do.
It
here.
It
Shouldn't
sure
have, but it
did.
did.
Mostly
But-
based around the idea of
so-
what wrestling is.
And we settled on that in the comic books, wrestling's kind of real, right? Like kind of more like
Mhm.
gladiator fighting
It's
Anyway,
sort of
so
depicted that way. But there is
so
a pageantry to it as well.
or pageantry too. So I went with a heel champion. And when I thought about it, I was
Look
like
up that term.
the most obvious one I think is Kingpin. Wilson Fisk being the King Kong Bundy of this wrestling federation, the Ultimate Wrestling Federation. He would be unbeatable. We saw how strong he is. We just saw him in the Echo show, just beating up on this ice cream vendor, with no problem. But he can take on Daredevil and other superpowered people. He despite not truly having superpowers, he's just like pure muscle, and he's quite evil. He's got a great stable around him. He would have all like the NWO types, putting on the t-shirts and joining the organization, joining the Fisk organization. He might even have the trench coat. No, it's not the tracksuit mafia that they would have, right? So he's a great wrestling type.
Perfect.
Lord.
Jaemeel,
Okay. I'll wait till the time fixes.
go ahead.
I also picked a heel. Currently in the MCU, we have an issue where we're not drawing money right now. So we need a heel champion that people actually want to see be defeated. Someone who elicits a hatred and to see them beat, doesn't matter who. The person must be strong, but actually beatable, but somehow isn't being beat. So the chase occurs, and there's a multitude of people who can chase. My choice is the High Evolutionary, an individual who has in recent times caused the most amount of hatred that I've seen in terms of a character and what he does throughout his time. To me, it seems pretty straightforward. I'll go into more detail when we're actually debating. Rest time, give him back.
Good choice.
Interesting choice, Jaemeel. Interesting choice.
Very interesting choice.
Yeah.
But all right, Davan, you're up.
I also can't wait for the open debate because you guys are in trouble. Look, I'm so bored by your guys' picks. I picked Spider-Man.
Okay.
Spider-Man. You know what you need to be a professional wrestler? Night skills. You have to be hilarious. Like, he's friggin' hilarious. Plus, he's agile. Like, my God. You know what? Concede my time. I got to go right into the open debate. I got to start tearing into your guys' to even talk about mine.
All right.
Yeah.
Devin is so
Concede my
confident.
time.
He does not need. He just wants to debate. He wants to scrap. He wants to wrestle.
No, because it's all a comparison.
All right.
Ready?
All right.
Okay.
Let's get up.
Kingpin. Okay, no. Let me start with High Evolutionary. You know what's an interesting wrestler? A guy who just stands there. Hi, I'm the High Evolutionary. I'm standing there. Now, bored already. Now, Dave, basically the same thing. You said it yourself. He's King Kong Bundy. Kong Bundy would not hold up these days, okay? People actually want, like, Kingpin would be Hulk Hogan, but, like, without the personality.
Jeez.
Like, he would just
Stop
be, like,
trying
a
to
bad
make
wrestler.
him win this
He would
debate,
just,
Davin.
again, just
Stop trying to make him win this
be
debate.
this big guy who doesn't
Davin,
really
you're
do
not
anything.
helping your cause.
My pick is Spider-Man, who's like Rey Mysterio Jr. with the mic skills of The Rock, with like it's exciting. It's exciting. Plus, like, you know, the mystery behind the mask. Who's
so
the
let
man
me
behind
ask
the
you a
mask
question.
with the wicked
How
tongue
long-
and the crazy
how
good
long-
moves?
Davin, how long has Rey Mysterio held the championship?
I don't know. That's just like, I can pick anybody, any high flyer. Friggin'
He did win it, right?
I don't know. I don't know
He
much
won it.
about Rey Mysterio, to be honest.
He won
with you.
it,
but
how long was he champion?
Like a day.
whatever. Pick somebody
Not
else.
long.
Pick friggin' somebody else flying off the top. Pick Macho Man Randy Savage. Pick your Ricky Steamboats. Pick
Macho Man spent the most time as champion when he was a heel.
to be a heel. Spider-Man can play heel.
The
He can
money
go,
is in the
He can do
chase.
both. That's what's great about
money
Spider-Man.
I would
You
compare
guys
it
are
like,
stuck as boring, slow,
Spider-Man high-
maybe like a
unmoving
Shawn
heels,
Michaels or
whereas
somebody.
Spider-Man can
who
get
experimented
several
on
title
animals.
runs as heels,
elicits
as tag
such
partners, because he
hatred.
teams up with everybody. Spider-Man is the perfect wrestler. There's like, this is over. Go ahead, you guys.
He can't use any of the webs.
Give me my point.
Your argument is that he is a great wrestler.
A great wrestler with great mic skills, as opposed to your guys who can't do either of those things.
Macho Man-
I can be a tag team partner. You
Talking
keep
about who's the
everybody.
champion.
There was this thing
Bonesaw.
called
Remember Bonesaw?
Marvel Tales. No, Marvel Tales was the thing. Marvel Team Up was with Spider-Man teaming up with
The
everybody.
money is in the chase. You want the champion to be someone that people strive to beat. The money is beat. Why is Roman Reigns
Spider-Man.
the champion?
How many villains strive to beat Spider-Man? Everyone in New York, every villain in New York wants to beat Spider-Man.
But like King Kong Bundy could take him, or I mean Kingpin. Sorry,
What?
King Kong Bundy pin. You know he like
You guys are
have it-
arguing this all wrong.
haven't Spider-Man and Kingpin
sorry.
fought in the comic books?
Yes,
Sorry?
and if Spider-Man wanted to, he could kill Kingpin with a single punch. But,
But
he's
like,
not that
but
kind
like
of a guy.
it's not over.
He
really
would
fast,
kill him with a
right?
single punch.
Come
What?
on.
Could
Okay.
kill him, but he never would.
I'm trying to have this argument.
No,
with
exactly.
People that don't know what we're actually arguing about. Like,
Oh,
high
explain.
evolutionary is someone who elicits like an absurd amount of hatred.
I forgot that was even in here. It's so bad.
The High Evolution. He would be like a
He
Bob
just
Heenan
stands
type.
there.
He would be like
It doesn't say a whole lot either.
He'd be like a
And when he
manager.
does, it's boring.
he wouldn't be a wrestler.
You're telling me
He
that if
would be a
someone
wrestler.
hurt animals, the amount of vitriol that this person would receive, that people would want to see,
Sure, but
pay
he's
money.
They wouldn't
Sure.
because they
Thank
would
you,
be
Dave.
bored.
He would
Sure.
be like
Thank you,
Eddie
Dave.
Guerrero's wife or whatever.
Andre,
Vicky
No, they
Guerrero.
would be
can wrap it
bored
up.
of him.
Okay,
Yeah.
they agreed.
As soon as I saw your pick, I'm like, what is Jaemeel doing? Why would he do that
He's
to
winning.
himself?
He is winning. That is what he's doing.
But he's
That
not a
is what I'm
fighter. He
doing.
doesn't even fight the Guardians.
How? He doesn't get to shoot people with like genetic beams during a wrestling match. Like, what is High Evolutionary even doing there? It makes no sense, Jaemeel. It makes no sense.
Kingpin can.
He's only good during the walk
Players,
down with the
you're-
pyrotechnics.
He'll modify, he'll modify some of his underlings so that he can fight the lower tier people just to lead up to the actual WrestleMania match, where the competitors
Spider-Man
finally
is
get their hands on him.
versatile.
You guys are insane.
Spider-Man's almost too.
I can't believe you picked High
to be in a
Evolution.
I can't
wrestling.
believe you guys don't understand the assignment.
Oh man, this is.
Do you understand the High Evolutionary?
Understand what he asked.
I love how Jameel's basically like, you know who would be the best heel champion? Hitler. Like if we had Hitler, people want to see you beat Hitler.
People
So
would have
put
liked
it in there.
boring Hitler. Hitler's more exciting than the High Evolution.
Oh man, that was great. Jameel did understand the assignment for sure. But I can't I just don't see it. Like he's a good manager, but I hate him.
Oh, as a
I absolutely
manager,
hate
did he
him.
say that?
Yeah, no, he didn't.
Yeah, as a manager, that works,
No,
Jaemeel.
Yeah.
If you picked him as a manager, that makes a whole lot of sense.
But not as a champion.
No, he just
No.
stands there. He's not a wrestler.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Davan. Davan, you got this one.
Oh my, Andre.
Sorry.
No.
Listen,
You can be a tag team with anyone.
there are a lot of real world monsters that I don't want to see that aren't necessarily good choices for champion. You're like, let's get
I'm
Ted
disappointed
Bundy
in you, Andre.
here.
Just
in
pick a guy who moves, Jaemeel. Like, there's
That
a
was
ton of
great.
bad villains you could have picked that actually
I
move
agree.
their
He's a
bodies.
fantastic villain, but he's a Machiavellian villain that pulls the strings. He's not like a villain that is.
And
and-
that's
a manager,
and that's
amazing.
what people want to see the hero get their hands on.
I agree. I
Get his
appreciate the way that you approach this. You definitely
Yeah, like
approach
when
it
they
correctly.
strangle Bobby Heenan.
Because
Like
he might be the most despicable villain in the Marvel universe, even more than the guy who destroyed half the universe. And I certainly hate him. I think the actor that played him is, and I loved him on Peacemaker too. He's fantastic.
Yeah, he's great.
It's a shame he wasn't the original Kang because maybe we could have kept Kang going for a while.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they
All
ain't
great
gonna
picks.
ditch Kang.
These are all
They'll
great
just
picks, but the
recast.
actual answer is
I'm-
Nightcrawler. I'm just gonna say that.
yeah, Murphy sent me that since he can't debate that he thought Nightcrawler was interesting.
Nightcrawler would have been his champion.
Yeah, Nightcrawler.
Privileges.
Yes, I love Nightcrawler in the MCU. Oh wait,
Yeah,
There isn't.
Yeah.
yeah. I guess.
Sorry, Murphy.
I guess if we got parallel universe, like world shifting with Deadpool 3, that maybe
Deadpool 3
the-
could change everything.
The
yeah, but
Nightcrawler,
Deadpool
yeah,
3
the
hasn't
out-
come out. It's like
Agreed.
okay,
Agreed.
okay, the best villain should be Magneto, who hasn't shown up in the MCU yet, but I'm gonna pick him because world shifting.
All right. fair
Nightcrawler
enough.
would be like an IC champion. Kind of guy.
Yeah, I agree. He's a transitionary champ for sure.
What's the next
All
one?
right, good choice, guys. Good choice. This is spirited debate. I'm sorry, Jaemeel. I'm sorry.
I'm disappointed.
Okay, well, we have the history now. So,
Like-
which MCU property honors its source material best?
This one's interesting.
It is because there's a lot of source material for a lot of properties, but which one
Yeah.
honors its source material the best?
I don't even remember what I picked.
You want to jump? Well, let's go to Dave first. We'll start with Dave. So Davin can remember maybe.
Yeah. Well, as some of the other panelists know, like I like comic books, but I'm not like as into some of the lore as the rest. So I might be at a bit of a disadvantage in this round. But my understanding of it, at least, is that Iron Man is a pretty good faithful adaptation of the source material into what we got, including his substance abuse problems, including his womanizing, including his creation of weapons of mass destruction, and the fallout of that. And that's what has made Iron Man such an interesting protagonist, is that he is sort of this flawed human character who's got all like vices and got all these issues, demon in a bottle, if you will, but is able to sort of rise above that and be a great hero and reinvent himself. And so that's like the rest of them, has changed a lot. I think like they've changed a lot of aspects. So I'm done.
All right, Davin, you remember?
No.
All right,
I can go
Jaemeel,
on,
you're- Murphy said Davin or his answer if you have a second. All
I'll look it
go
up.
ahead, Jaemeel.
Jaemeel.
I'm gonna You could start the time. I'm just gonna take a little bit of it just to shake my head in protest for the last one. I'm not even mad that I lost the last
Win
one.
this one.
Yeah, win
Jameel,
this
that
one.
was the worst pick you ever could have made. Get over
I'm
it.
pointed in Andre's decision. But onwards to this one. I
Do you want
picked
to see? Do you want to see Jeffrey Epstein be the?
Oh,
champion,
of course,
the
that's
heel
what
of
I
the
picked.
WWE?
Oh,
All right, go
all
ahead.
right, we're good.
Go ahead.
he would be a wonderful champion that people would love to see, get his comeuppance and would pay money for
It
him
would
to
be entertaining to watch. Go ahead.
Lord. Captain America is who I chose. Let me just use Dave's argument. He's patriotic, just like in the comic books. He has a shield, just like in the comic books. People like him. He's no nonsense from time to time. He's often went against the government, just like in the comic books. So that should be my argument. I give back my time.
Oh, you should have used it. All right.
All right, Davan, remember, go.
Look, there's only one time, and now this counts as MCU, that I've ever felt like I was watching the comic books, and very much the comic books that I've read, come alive, and that was Netflix's Daredevil. It mixes a little bit of the early Stan Lee stuff, but really it's basically Frank Miller's Daredevil come to life. It has the gritty feel of the Daredevil comics. It nails all of the characters. It follows the story beats, but it adds enough new stuff to make it a bit fresh. But like they couldn't have done it better. Like there's a reason it got so many seasons and it's being born again because it was perfectly done. I couldn't believe they did it. And with Kingpin as well, like
Please track the last.
God! I knew you were gonna say that.
I was like, you stopped. I'm like, great, Davan, and then you just kept going. So I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
I forgot about Kingpin, and I had to mention something.
Okay, well, so I'm going to come back to Davan because I can't dispute anything he's saying with the Daredevil being a faithful adaptation. I'd like to come to Captain America because this is a character.
Wait, hold on a second before you continue. Are you just giving Davan this point?
I'm just saying I don't have a lot of counterpoints.
Lord
so
Jesus.
do you?
Go and say what you want to say, and I'll address both of you. I do. But
with Captain America, this is a character that Marvel kind of acquired, right? Like they didn't start off with him. He was kind of a character from another franchise that they sort of acquired, and they've kind of reinvented his backstory, I think, a few times as they've gotten further away from World War II. Then that's kind of where we got he was frozen in the ice for 20 years or 40 years or whatever. I think that was added later. But Captain America was originally just the guy who punched Hitler. Was sort of a comic book that you would read.
You're talking about timely comics, right?
I think so. Which
is what Marvel Comics used to be, but
it's the predecessor. It's not Stan Lee's company, right? Or he was company he worked at. I don't know, but it's in terms of
Stan Lee doesn't own Marvel Comics.
He doesn't own anything. He's dead, but
he's dead. He doesn't own anything. But Iron Man, would you say you feel like Captain America was more faithful than Iron Man?
Sure, yeah, okay. Yeah.
What's your because?
Well, let's hear it, Jaemeel.
Okay, because we have three versions of Captain America, basically, that is presented in the movies and television shows. You have the whole patriotic individual shown in the first movie. That is, you can easily say it's the earlier run in the Timely Comics where he was fighting Hitler, overly patriotic. That's how the movie is presented. And then you have in the more 2000s time period where you have this man of espionage in the Winter Soldier, right? You have the Captain America with the Avengers in Civil War, and then you also have Captain America is a moniker, not necessarily one individual, and you see the various individuals playing Captain America in terms of you have Falcon Cap, you also have U.S. Agent Camp as well. You have all the different variations of Captain America being presented, very faithful to the comic books.
I'm going to have to take you both down now,
whereas
fellas.
Iron Man is Robert Downey Jr., right? And
Yes.
the closest thing that you can say in terms of Iron Man being faithful is that they changed the comic book to match it in terms of synergy than actually it following.
Yeah.
So you're saying that
Iron
Tony
Man.
Stark before Robert Downey Jr. did not
Was
resemble
nothing like
was
Robert
not
Downey
quippy
Jr.
like that.
No,
There's
but
the reason
now-
Iron Man books have never sold, because Iron Man was boring as
Yes.
friggin'
He
like,
was always
Until they
was
made him a
white
smart
toast.
ass, basically.
And they made him Robert Downey Jr. And now in the
only
comics, he's
reason
Robert
why
Downey Jr.
is because
So
you had a charismatic person like Robert.
that was a
Downey
bad
Jr.,
pick. You didn't
right?
realize it, but that was a bad pick because
Mhm.
they literally changed. Like, it's so stark. Forgive the pun. Like, it's commented on all the time how like comic book and like
Right. Because I used
how
to watch the
comic
Iron Man
books are
cartoon.
now becoming more like the MCU to be reflective of
In
it.
the 90s.
It started with that, and like people
Right.
complained about that because they liked how the
Well, I guess
characters
too
were
with like
before a
even
lot
like
of the
ideas of source
But-
material, because like even like the comic books had like reinvented these characters like probably a half
But
dozen times.
Jaemeel, let me just take out Jaemeel for 1 second. Jaemeel, they just threw Captain America in. Like, you got the origin story, and they got the Winter Soldier story, and they threw him in Civil War. Yes,
Oh,
Well, that's too
Oh,
bad.
no.
too bad.
Oh, no.
Daredevil
Nova Scotia.
is-
Nova Scotia.
Daredevil, I felt that they were just trying to be edgy and not really
not
follow
to say
that
it's
much.
beat for beat, but you've got like a
didn't
very
hear your
strong
argument,
Karen
Devin, at all.
Page. You've got a very earnest Foggy Nelson. You've got a Daredevil who's like getting beat up the shit out of him all the time and almost being dead all the time. You've got Kingpin. Like,
Devin, you
It's
froze
the
for
same.
you froze for a little while.
Yeah, I didn't hear what your argument was.
It's
Can-
okay.
Can we give Devin
we
some
got
extra
it.
time, please?
Yeah, let's give Devin like another 10 seconds, 20 seconds.
Go ahead,
yeah, my
Devin.
internet's not happy tonight. Well, I was
Devin,
just saying
use the
about
time,
like,
use the time.
yeah. Well, about Captain America, I was just saying that they were just took 3 Captain America stories and did them completely different, except for the origin. But like with Daredevil, it has all of the beats you need from this kind of story. It's got the distraught Karen Page. It's got the Kingpin leering over it all. It's got the
All the stuff with
earnest
his
Foggy
dad.
No,
Nelson.
but you're not
It's
mentioning.
got-
You're not okay. How's
Yeah.
the character? You're just talking about beats.
No. Well, beats too. Like it's
No.
Character.
All right. Well, solidly debated. Dave, unfortunately, you got argued out of
I
it.
feel like I kind of talked
Yeah.
my own way out of this. I feel like,
but it's all right. It's because you're not as strong with the comics, and I totally get that. It wasn't as fair to you. But Stark did have a bit of a smarmy rich dickness to him, but to make him sort of fun was sort of something that came.
Yeah,
out
he was
later.
never fun.
Yeah.
Not funny.
Not really. And they never really went into the whole demon in a bottle storyline. Like, his alcoholism was never a problem in the movies. He just like
Iron Man
was drunk
2.
sometimes.
They
they
did
cut,
it in
they cut
Iron
a
Man
couple
2.
scenes too.
He didn't go to an AA meeting or get a chip or
No.
give
There was
up
a
drinking.
scene
He's
in the
He
second
He just
movie.
got drunk at a party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just Peter's
Yeah.
He
pants.
pissed in the suit.
Yeah, he did pee in the suit.
that's true. But we
That's
never
it.
saw him really rectify that or like come to terms with it.
We saw him drive the suit drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Donuts.
he did some donuts. Yeah, tightly argued from the other two. I am going to give it to Jaemeel, though. I do feel like you argued it.
Devin, I
the
think if you
best.
had more time, you would have won.
Daredevil was really well done.
I think you spent too much time letting Dave go on and then trying to finish us off at the end. You should have went first.
I did.
No.
I thought I'd be a gentleman because, like Andre says,
No.
I'm too aggressive in these debates. So
No,
gentleman doesn't work.
I don't say it about
Now
these
the,
debates.
the gloves are off next round, boys.
I never said you're
He
too
needs the
aggressive in
point.
these debates. I said you're too aggressive with Murphy on the movie show. I never said anything about these debates.
That is true. I will agree with that, David.
Poor Murphy. I feel
All
like
right,
he needs
gloves are off.
a blanket on him. All right.
Gloves are off. on
We're gonna
this
get a
one, boys.
2-2 tie, aren't we?
We might. All right. So next up, we have Wildcard, which should be Wildcard. I'm not sure what happened there. What
Wildcard!
MCU actor is the best cast in their role?
Murphy, you
and
suck.
why?
No offense.
I literally just said you got to go easier on Murphy, and you're like, "Fuck you, Murphy." First chance you get. All right.
I can't wait to take my Buckleys.
There it is.
I want to see you take it on camera, Jaemeel. That'd be more entertaining.
I
to
gotta
me.
find where I put it. It's-
All right. So, what wait, what was the question? It's gone now. So it was what MCU actor is the best cast in their role and why?
Okay.
I think
Not
I'm supposed
Robert
to go
Downey
first.
Jr.
Davin,
I
go
can
ahead
go
in case Nova Scotia gets you.
Yeah, it is Robert Downey Jr. Why? For the reasons you lost the last debate, Dave. He reinvented a basically nothing character. Like, I'm a Marvel zombie. Most, like 99% of the comics I care about are Marvel comics, and I could never give two shits about Iron Man ever. And I tried because he was boring. And then we have Robert Downey Jr., who took everything that was worth inhabiting about that character and then made it something that is echoed through comics and movies and through to this day, and built the MCU. Like, were it not the strength of that casting, there wouldn't be whatever you guys are going to pick and talk about.
Maybe I'm going to surprise you.
It was the most defining, but it didn't disgrace or like trample the old comic book version. But it like, no one complained. Nobody missed old Tony. Like, that's the thing with some of these other characters. Some of these other characters, people are like, oh, I like the comic book version, or I like the movie version. Nobody misses old Tony.
All right, Dave.
All right. I'll tell you what I did miss, because my all-time favorite comic book character, especially at least on the Marvel side of the equation, is Spider-Man. And we had to go through all of these different Spider-Man franchises. We got the Tobey Maguire one, then we got the Andrew Garfield one. And my big issue with those ones was they were way too old to be playing Spider-Man. Okay, the Andrew Garfield one. Andrew Garfield's my age, and he was like 32 when he played Spider-Man. When I
Tobey Maguire was only 40 when he played Spider-Man.
40 and had like grandkids.
A youthful 40.
And what I loved about Tom Holland being cast in this role, being introduced in Captain America: Civil War, was he was actually a kid. He was young. You felt like that. Like, there was that dynamic between his interactions with Captain America and with Iron Man, and that he was like young, green, just wanted to help, wanted to be part of this new exciting universe, and made me fall in love with the Spider-Man character all over again. Love the Tom Holland casting, and it's part of what has made the MCU so strong is his contribution, because Spider-Man.
Okay. Yeah, well said. All right, Jaemeel.
I picked Luke Cage, Mo Coulter. Why?
That's an interesting pick, Jaemeel.
He is
the best.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it if you don't mind.
I do.
Okay, thanks. So Luke Cage is a character that has a lot of baggage in terms of how he was created, in terms of how he was used, and introducing this character, presenting it for modern characters, meant that there was going to be a lot of heavy lifting in terms of his presentation, especially when trying to bring majority of those elements to the modern age. You needed someone who was sophisticated, had a strong presence, but still had the ability to be, as they say, down. And Mike Coulter hits all of those points and more than some. Let the beat begin.
Cool. All right, let's 4 minutes of spirited debate. Let's get it on.
Well, here's the thing, fellas. Here's the thing. Dave,
Yes.
the funny thing is, I agree with you. But the thing is, a lot of people don't. And like, everyone has their Spider-Man. And like, for at least 66% of the people, they're not choosing Tom Holland. So like,
Who are they
I
choosing?
agree with you.
Andrew
One of the
Garfield,
other two.
Oh no, they're the
Like,
worst.
Tobey Maguire has more fans than Tom Holland does.
Give it time.
I don't agree with that. Baby. But so I agree with you, but you're wrong because people don't agree with that. Like, everyone's split on Spider-Man. It couldn't be more split. People even like, especially since No Way Home, like, really booster for Garfield. But Jaemeel, that was an interesting pick.
Thank you.
Why I don't think your pick is correct. I liked him quite a bit as Luke Cage, but he isn't the strongest actor. He's good, but he's not the strongest actor. There were times in that show where, like, high drama scenes where it didn't quite come off. He's good as the relaxed Luke Cage, I don't curse, Sweet Christmas, that kind of guy. But like, when it comes to the more dramatic parts of Luke Cage, he didn't quite have the chops, I found. Like, I think maybe he can get there. I don't think they should recast the role or anything. But Robert Downey Jr. defined the MCU, and like, people still want more. Like, he's the character that's been thrown at us the most, other than maybe like Thor. But people still want more Robert Downey Jr.
people want more of Robert Downey Jr., not Robert Downey Jr. necessarily as Tony Stark.
Yes, they do.
No. People like
That's
Robert
what
Downey
will fix
Jr.
the MCU. People are like, just bring back Tony,
Yeah,
and
it
people
was
will start
working.
making money again. Like
Yeah.
that's what
They say they want the star power.
not the star power, the power
This-
of him in that role. Like
Right.
it's the star power of Iron Man by him, not the star power of Robert Downey Jr. Because he wasn't a star before Iron Man. Not only did he like remake Iron Man and make the MCU, he remade himself and gave himself a career again as an A-list actor with Iron Man because of the strength
With
of that
more with
performance.
Tropic Thunder.
No, not more with Tropic Thunder.
Yes, it was with Tropic Thunder.
No, it wasn't with Tropic
It
Thunder. That was a
absolutely-
bit of a
bro.
joke.
No, it was the recognized joke that people appreciated, right? That was
He only could do Tropic Thunder and get away with it because of Iron Man.
no, because of the time
Yes.
and also because it was funny.
I'm
No,
just
because
gonna
he was
say-
Iron Man.
No,
Luke-
not because he was
Luke
Iron. No one
Cage-
went, "Oh, Iron Man could do blackface because he's
No.
Iron Man."
No, because he's the head of the most juggernaut money-making franchise in the movie industry.
wasn't a
The movie
franchise
that-
back
the
then.
franchise that kept people going to
It
theaters.
wasn't a franchise back then. That
He
statement.
created the franchise.
There was no franchise
they knew
back
that.
then. That was the same year. Tropic Thunder was like a cultural phenomenon, just like Iron Man. But to say that Iron Man begot Tropic Thunder is absurd.
So
It's
where's the
absolutely
cultural
absurd.
significance of Mike Coulter as Luke Cage?
I don't think there is one. I think that
There isn't
even
one.
even among those Netflix shows, I think like Jessica Jones is better cast or like
Way
I-
better.
I-
Daredevil's
I-
better.
Absolutely
Yeah,
disagree.
like
Iron Fist is not
Iron
better.
Fist. Not Iron
But
Fist.
no.
He's better than Iron Fist. I'll give you that. But,
Don't put Iron Fist on Finn.
So he's
Jones.
3 of 4. You came at us with 3 of 4.
Yeah, the
Jaemeel.
third best Netflix guy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then
Good job.
Robert
You did
Downey
pick
Jr.
Daredevil. Why
I
did you
think
pick
Robert
Daredevil?
Downey Jr. and Tom Holland are like probably.
I
in
would
the
have.
same
higher
position.
Daredevil. You did pick Daredevil. You picked Robert Downey Jr.
Yes. And
Not Robert
Daredevil
Downey
would have been
Jr.
like
as
2 or
Tony-
3.
Tony Stark, right? I picked Mo
'Cause he
Coulter as
created-
Luke Cage.
He recreated himself the role.
No, he
and
recreated
a
the role.
movie franchise.
He
It was
recreated
the
the role.
biggest.
That's me.
You could argue it's the biggest role played by anybody in the last like 50 years, as far as like with the money it made.
I would just make one
And what
last
spun
point
out of it.
to the fact, like you said how Davin's like, oh well, everyone still loves the Toby Spider-Man or the Garfield
They
Spider-Man,
do.
but they recast it for a reason because those they had
And they will
tired
keep
out.
Well, yeah,
recasting
Tobey
it over
Maguire's
and over again.
75 now, Dave.
I know,
He was
but
40
he's-
when he played Spider-Man.
But he's in the most
He's
recent Spider-Man movie.
Jack Johnson is also Spider-Man.
with a back problem.
with a back problem.
Neil Patrick Harris was Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was. Well, the cartoon Spider-Man is always my favorite. But
Shamik Moore is Spider-Man. You know, there's a lot of them.
Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Yes. Well, he's still Spider-Man.
still Spider-Man.
Still the best Spider-Man movies.
I think we are gonna have to go into a 3-way tie, boys. Spider-Man is the winner. Dave got it.
No, it
I
isn't.
got it.
This
Yes,
is a
it is.
three-way tie. It's-
I-
Oh,
did
is
I-
it?
Did I
Dave
get
got it. Yeah. No, it's not a 3-way tie.
No.
Oh, Davin
Davin.
has to. Oh, well then, sorry, Davin. Yeah,
You
Spider-Man.
gave that to
this one.
Dave?
Yeah, I
No.
did.
You gave that to Dave. I can't believe that just happened. Okay.
That's right. That's right. This is what. See, what does it all mean, Davin? Nothing. It's all.
The debates mean nothing. He said, hey, he's the youngest.
No, he didn't say that. He had some interesting stuff to say about it. I enjoyed his
Davin.
talks. Jaemeel, you were close.
I'll pour some out for you.
Jaemeel, you were close.
What? Oh
That's
my
pretty
God.
good considering he had Luke. Cage.
Okay.
Well, we still have the quick rounds.
I don't know what universe I'm
Speed
living in.
round.
We show speed rounds.
And now it's time for the speed round.
David, we're gonna lose to Wikipedia over here.
Yeah. There's no speed
Nah.
round for me. Yeah.
Wikipedia.
I'm gonna go parent later, fellas.
What?
You're not gonna
Yeah,
join
you
us?
still could win this, Davin. Get in here.
No,
Come
I
on.
can't. I'm out. You just disqualified me.
I'm sorry, Davin. Never mind. I forgot how this worked.
And Gabe didn't even say anything. He's just like, hey, I like this Spider-Man. I give you
I
a
do.
1,000 reasons why Robert Downey Jr. should have won. Anyway, I'm out of here.
I feel like I would have an angry co-host tomorrow.
You are
Remind me
definitely-
never to agree to be a judge on this again. All right.
You can't make everyone happy. Don't worry
I
about it.
know. All right.
You gotta say something insightful to keep him here. Like, he's absolutely wrong about Super Mario Brothers movie 2023.
If by insightful you mean fill him with rage, then yes.
Yeah,
that's-
just antagonize them.
Yeah. So in speed rounds, first question: which MCU show was more disappointing, Iron Fist or Secret Invasion?
Oh,
Secret Invasion.
Iron Fist, I guess. Yeah. Lord.
Who goes first?
You said it first, so you're up first.
Secret Invasion, from its terrible plotting, its misuse of characters, its killing off of important, interesting characters, its nonsensical plot, its poor CGI, its poor final fight, its implications to the MCU and its impact. There's no other MCU show that comes close to what an absolute mess Secret Invasion is.
Iron Fist was a disaster for Netflix and for the MCU offshoot of all those different things. So much to the point that the Defenders never had a chance of getting off the ground because Iron Fist has been such a poorly received show. I think that it was incredibly disappointing what we got out of that. I think that the guy they cast from Game of Thrones, he wasn't the right pick for the Danny Rand character. It's too bad because I think that the Iron Fist is a great character. Secret Invasion had all kinds of great moments. Rhodey was a Skrull or something. Come on.
Something. Or something.
All right. What's the 15 seconds?
Well, he gets a rebuttal.
Okay.
Okay.
Go.
Scott Buck as the time didn't.
He started.
Scott Buck as the showrunner for the show for Iron Fist was its major problems, which they corrected in the second season. Secret Invasion, which was handled by the MCU and the Feige Trust, had no direction whatsoever.
By the time they got to that second season of Iron Fist, it was way too late. Everyone had written it off, and they weren't going anywhere. It didn't have the star power like Samuel Jackson to carry it through. You had to rely on that guy from Game of Thrones who no one remembers. It sucks.
Ben Jones,
Yeah.
Jessica Chadwick,
All those, they suck.
Ellie Steve.
All right. Jaemeel, you got it.
All right, so we're tied.
All right.
It's unfair because I've defended Iron Fist a lot over the years.
I like the second season of it actually.
Yeah.
So
I didn't
like the
watch
show-
most of it, so I couldn't really say. But.
fair enough.
Fair enough.
So we just keep going until there's a definitive winner. Like once. All right.
Until David gets 2
Until
more points.
mathematically there can't be
I see.
somebody else.
All right. Next question. Which MCU film villain deserves to return more, Ultron or the Red Skull?
Ultron.
Oh.
I got it first.
It doesn't matter. Dave,
all
you
right.
get to choose.
I'll get Ultron. Okay, Ultron. Throw the time up. All right. Mr. Ultron, as played by James Spader, rhymes with Dave Mader, kind of. I think that's why we need him back. The Ultron was a bit of a disappointment. There was supposed to be a whole age of Ultron. I barely got like an hour and a half. And, that's why the age needs to be seen through. We've already seen the Red Skull come back, but whereas Ultron, we haven't, and I think that's why he deserves the return more. Because they used him too fast. He deserves to be sort of like Thanos level.
Ultron as a character is one that never really has a full series dedicated to him. Even his comic book overlapping arc, the Age of Ultron, that it was somewhat based on, was pretty terrible. Red Skull has more impact in the Marvel Universe and the MCU as well. Would love to see him return, especially when he steals Professor X's brain. Would love to see some uncanny X-Men, uncanny Avengers action go on, because I think that's an interesting story.
Well, you would have to introduce the X-Men first before you could even do that, which they got a long way to go in the MCU. I think Ultron is a lot more interesting. I think we just saw in the What If comic books how they were like, well, what if Ultron was good or whatever? I think that there's a lot more potential for Ultron.
So you mentioned that he returned as well. No, we already had. Oh, I still get more time
In an alternate timeline.
Yeah. Ultron did return as well. So that point against me is gone. Red Skull is the more galvanizing character, especially in more modern times and the rise of
Thank you,
Oh,
Jason.
tight. I mean, Red Skull did return in What If too for using What If, so I'll give it to Dave.
Dave Mader, James Spader coming at you.
That's right. I mean that rhyme just did it. I mean, that's cinch it. I said, doesn't matter what Jaemeel says. The words rhyme. That's all I need going
I
forward.
could just imagine Davan just seething.
Oh yeah, he's not going to be a happy camper. This like, yeah. All right, it's funny because all right. So where are we on 15 again?
It should be 30.
Should be 30. Next question, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Which MCU figure would best headline a band? Iron Man or Star-Lord?
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
No, Jaemeel said it first.
One. Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy game perfectly presented it. There were multiple songs that had Star-Lord, the character, and his band perform with his interactions with other aliens. I think the song is "The Men Who Ride Across Space." Awesome. He is a rock and roller who actually loved music, so he would be better intertwined as a frontman. He knows what other people who are really into music would want to see as a headliner.
All right.
You know what? I think Star-Lord would be the head of some kind of a karaoke lineup, but not a rock and roll band. That would be Tony Stark himself. You know what song he'd be singing? He's like, I am Iron Man. He'd be all into the Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath and all that kind of stuff, and he would be rocking it out. He would go, Star-Lord, he's more into the poppy kind of quippy stuff, and he's lip syncing. Let's face it, he let Kevin Bacon sing. He didn't even want to sing the Christmas song, so that worked.
He did sing in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy game. So you have that there. You've seen he has rhythm. He can dance, right? He's charismatic, right? You see him in Come and Get Your Love with the microphone. He got the skills.
Karaoke. Only a man such as Tony Stark has the stage presence. We saw when he peed in the suit. We saw that he's a drinker, a boozer. He's got substance abuse issues. Of course he would headline a band. Star-Lord more of a, just a fun uncle.
I love how Dave said, yeah, well, Star-Lord would be the head of a cover band, but Tony Stark would be in a band singing I Am Iron Man, which isn't covered.
Yeah.
All right, Jaemeel. Jameel's got this one.
Oh, man. Right. He did wear that Black Sabbath t-shirt in the movie, so that's from his childhood. That's probably why he picked the Iron Man name.
That's what they heavily imply in the movie is.
Right. Dave is right. That's correct. Thank you, Jason. But,
All right, next up we have which team from Civil War would win in a game of hockey without powers?
Oh, wow.
Team Cap.
All right.
Hey, I got Team Rogers then. Right? No, I got Team Stark. Okay.
Yep.
Ant-Man, because of Ant-Man, you just make the puck really huge.
I said no powers. No powers.
No powers.
Oh, no powers? Oh, okay. Ant-Man, because
sticking with Ant-Man.
I gotta Ant-Man. He seems the most Canadian-like. Yeah. I totally did not think about this question before answering.
Okay. All right. Powers aside, just look at who I got on my team. I got Tony Stark. Great. He obviously be a great hockey player. He can do the trash talk. We got Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow. If you got a Russian on your team, you're probably going to win. You got the all the calculations. What else? We got War Machine. He'd be our enforcer. You're not messing with Rhodey. I'm trying to think who else was on that side. Spider-Man, he'd be the young rookie on the team, hey kid, what are you doing? This is a great team. We obviously win this.
Okay, now that I thought about it, my team would actually do a lot better because they're actually skilled outside of their powers, right? They're trained individuals. So you have Hawkeye, you have Captain America, you even have a Black Widow on our team because she's a double agent.
Well, that's not till the end of the game, and I forgot we got the Black Panther on our side in this game, you know, and he can he's got the dangles, he's got the best hands, you know. Yeah, he'd be like Felix the cat, you know, like Felix the cat pot fan, just like the Leafs back in the 90s, right? I think he'd be in net.
Man, Davan, I don't know how you did it, Jaemeel, but you managed to pull it back. After the first one, I was like, "There's no way Jameel's winning this one," and then you managed to grab it in the last 15 seconds. When you mentioned the double agent, although Dave mentioning the Russian on your side, I was like, "Oh, that's great," because but then Jameel's like double agent, she's working for us. I'm like, "Oh, right, yeah." You managed to grab it.
Felix the cat.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a nice reference. I like in the dangles. The dangles almost. I don't know what dangles are, but I want them.
That's when you hold it out here. You want the puck and you take it.
Oh. Yeah. All right. Well, where are we at in the scores there, Murph? Murph's still alive.
Looks like we're tied.
He's still tied? Oh my God. Okay. Well, 2 more to go. So, which unused Marvel property is more important to the future of the MCU, the X-Men or the Fantastic Four?
X-Men.
All right.
Gotta wait for the timer. The X-Men are a whole fresher breath air for the actual MCU, and the amount of conflicts and also individuals that they bring forth to the universe is the most untapped universe. Even despite its presentation already from the Fox universe, Fox bungled it so badly that a lot of things that weren't mentioned can still be brought forth and be fresh and new and interesting with the interactions with the already present characters.
See, I'm going to come at you with maybe a little bit of a different idea about why the Fantastic Four are more important to the future, because I don't think that they're going to be as hard to reinvent. I think that the previous attempts at the Fantastic Four were not beloved. They're not well received, way less so than like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and those kind of things. Whereas the X-Men who came before the Fox X-Men are going to be way harder for people to let go of that Professor X, of that Wolverine, etc. And so therefore, I don't know if the X-Men do have as much of a future in the MCU as much as the Fantastic Four had, where they have a lot more freedom.
Very interesting rebuttal. But I think that with a lot of the stuff that they did bungle are important characters that people actually care to see. Storm, Cyclops, and right on time.
And I'll just say about these Fantastic Four, they're the first family of superheroes. They were at one point immensely popular, and I think they can be again if they're done right, if they're cast right, and they're given a good story and a good dynamic. And they haven't had that yet, so they're just waiting for their breakout opportunity. Whereas the X-Men have done a lot of their bigger things.
Oh man, wow. Good argument. Listen, man, I was ready to give it to X-Men on like the easiest plot, but Dave, you brought up a really good point when you said that like the to shed the memory of the X-Men over the memory of what the Fantastic Four movies were. You're totally right. Like, you know, Ian Groffard and Jessica Alba and Michael Chiklis, and I mean, you know, another guy we got in the Marvel movies.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, forget that one. Miles Teller, like that movie was a hot dumpster fire.
Right.
Blame Fox. Blame Fox.
Oh, yeah. Well, Fox ruined both these properties for sure.
More or less,
yeah. Anything they got their little mitts in. This Madam Web movie is going to be a disaster. I'm sure.
Devin, I'm very happy to have disappointed you.
Well, okay. So Jaemeel needs this next one to tie me, and then,
yes, he does. Yeah.
And then it'll be tiebreaker.
So please update the scores. It's 5-4.
Who won this point?
I did.
Dave. It's 5-4.
Yeah.
And Forstick.
All right, speed round. Which upcoming film will have a greater impact on the MCU? Thunderbolts or Captain America: New World Order?
Wow. I'm going Captain America: New World Order.
All right.
And the reason I'm going with that was I'm like, the Thunderbolts is that thing that they're setting up with Julia Louis-Dreyfus or something, I think. And it's like a bad Avengers or a dark Avengers, but I don't care. I'm way more into the idea of sorry, throw up the question again.
Which could have an impact in the future of the MCU more.
Yeah, like Captain America, we got this new Captain America, and I think like actually passing the torch to a whole new person, like not Steve Rogers, I think is a big deal and something we need to see, you know. And so it's gonna go ahead.
Jaemeel?
The torch was already passed in Falcon and Winter Soldier, so that is not what New World Order is. Thunderbolts, you basically what people were complaining about in Captain Winter Soldier was the lack of resolution for Bucky. And this one, we have Bucky in this front and center role where he's actually in these teams, and a lot of these plot threads that we have seen be left aside are going to be picked up. Ghost, the new Black Widow.
Yep.
Yeah, I would just say I don't think that the torch has been fully passed because that was in a TV show and not a movie, and I think that a lot of people hadn't seen the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that was almost like a competition between Winter Soldier and Falcon to see who was going to take up the mantle of Captain America after Steve Rogers, and of course Falcon gets it, but I just think that there's more to be done.
Wasn't really a competition. It was just following Steve's orders and more of Falcon coming to grips with that decision. Thunderbolts is supposed to be an extraction mission, maybe to Wakanda. We don't really know, but the idea that this war might be.
No, Jaemeel, your dedication to sticking to the time and the format is applaudable.
I'm trying.
Jesus, guys, this is
I'm
tough.
trying to put points in as much as I possibly can, and that's why.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I think it's a good job. Oh, geez, you guys make this tough. There's a reason I don't like doing this. Dave, you win. You win, Dave. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes.
Captain Wikipedia has won.
I also disagree with that, but once again, Andre, I know it's not an easy gig to
No, it's not.
I don't ever want to do it again. I'm kidding. I do it again, but I've been on this show before, and I have a very. I think that the like most things, the races, the journey is better than the end. So that's what I enjoy about these things, and well argued from everybody, even Davan, and I know he's going to probably yell at me tomorrow.
So the next time the Mary Mater Marvel Society gets together, I'll be like, I am an award-winning Marvel debater, and having defeated my co-hosts of that show.
I bet you Davin's really regretting volunteering me to do this. And that was certainly not, and I did not do that to punish him. I really did not, honestly. I love Davin. I sent him a message because I felt bad and said, I love you, buddy. And he said, you wounded me. So
he says that every time he does a Winning episode.
Oh, I know. That poor guy.
He's very passionate about winning.
Time.
Well, he's passionate about stuff, which I mean, that's what makes about this stuff, which is what the beauty of being a fan of this stuff is. I know it gets heated, and that's part of the joy of the chase. But I always, everybody has their opinions. But you guys all fought diligently, very well. Dave, you brought some great points for a guy that's not as big a Marvel fan as the others. But I guess because it was like MCU proper, like most of the questions are about the movies and not so much extended universe, because you certainly had trouble with those. But the other stuff, it was I
really felt at a disadvantage in the history round, where I was like, I'm kind of out of my element here, but but otherwise, I was okay because I'm more of like a TV and comic book or TV and movie and that sort of thing.
Well, I'm excited. Great job, guys. Fantastic. Thank you, Murphy, for setting it up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I hope you feel better, Jaemeel.
Who knows?
This might be Jaemeel. We might be in memoriam of Jaemeel.
Brought him off the sick.
I will remember you.
But yeah, thank
as
you.
long as it's
Andre,
played by
for being our
metric.
host for this episode. And
Absolutely.
to our debaters, Dave Mater, Jaemeel Robinson, and the devastated Davan Skelhorn.
Where can we see more of Andre? I'm interested in this guy.
Where can we see more of Andre? Andre, don't you have a little podcast called Graphics Histories?
Sure do. In the process of getting it changed a little bit. The format's not changing, but just the way we had it structured. Because I used to have a version of it that I talked about comic book stuff, like histories of comic book characters, but we're kind of eschewing that and just going with only the interviews going forward, which I did a long time ago. But I have old stuff, so I've re-edited it, redoing some graphic stuff, and then going to get it on one of those platforms so it gets everywhere instead of just the 4 platforms I have it on now. So that'll be coming. New episode just dropped today with Paris Elaine, who is a Marvel and DC artist, also Toronto native. Yeah, great talk, great interview. We got a lot of really cool ones coming up. In fact, I have like Rich Woodall before him, Michael T. Gilbert before that, and it's a weekly every Monday. Next episode is with Craig Miller, who is ad exec for a bunch of movies, marketing consultant for The Thing, The Wicker Man, bunch of cool movies, and really cool guy. Got Eric Larson, creator of Savage Dragon, coming down the pipeline, which I'm very excited about.
And Savage She-Dragon as well.
Correct.
A laundry list of excellent talent.
Yeah, Davin's my has been a great help with outreach for getting guests, and he's diligent and doing a great job.
You're
Hey,
also
Davin.
a part of X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show, which you
Yes,
host with
new episode
Davin.
tomorrow night, in which Davin's going to yell at me, I'm sure.
Yeah. it's gonna be
When are we
thrilled.
going to
You
see
guys are-
Allison Court on X-Rated?
I would love to. I think Davin's reached out to several people that I don't know if actually he hasn't mentioned her in a while. I don't know if he mentioned her at all. He definitely probably tried. I can't imagine he didn't. I know he's been trying for Larry Houston, the showrunner, for a long time, and still has not managed to land that one. But yeah, no, tomorrow night. Well, we're watching the original X-Men animated show from Fox, and we finished the show. We're waiting for the new show to start on Disney Plus. So in the meantime, I suggested foolishly that we watch the movies, which we're doing now. Jaemeel joined us for the Generation X movie, which was a fun.
I was there for the first X-Men movie.
Yeah, Dave was there for X-Men 1. We have Dave Cutler for X-Men 2. And then we had X-Men Dan, one of our Patreon subscribers, for X-Men
Last Stand.
3,
Yeah.
The Last Stand. Oh, God. And then I today watched Wolverine Origins for tomorrow's episode. Which, it's funny, these movies, like, I remember them being a lot longer. They seem to go by so much faster now. Maybe it's just time. As you get older, it goes faster. But, man, oh, man. That a lot of zigs when they should have zagged in that movie. That's for sure.
Which version did you watch? Because that movie is so interesting in terms of it released early online without special effects.
Right, I remember that. Yeah.
It did get better with the special effects.
Yeah. I want, like, you know what? It's not the worst thing in the world. It really isn't quite as bad as I remember. It's not great, but it's not like the word, like, it's not as horrendously bad as I remember. I wouldn't call it a dumpster fire, but it certainly doesn't do anything special or memorable or interesting or good, really. It's just, like, honestly, I'd rather a movie be abhorrently bad or obscenely good than just, like, middle of the road, like, you know, like just
Plain
humdrum.
toast.
Exactly.
Plain
It's plain vanilla pudding.
Put some
is that
jam
what
on it, you know.
Yeah.
You're
some
gonna
jam
have
on
to
it.
Hear Andre's thoughts on the vanilla pudding of X-Men Origins Wolverine.
And special guest Ryan Reynolds will be there to talk about his role as Deadpool. I can
Sure,
neither
he's
confirm nor
stepping in.
deny that's actually going to happen.
Ryan J. Reynolds.
We've had a guy named Ryan Reynolds. It's not him.
Yeah.
No, we actually do.
Me and Jaemeel know a guy named Ryan J. Reynolds. and he's
Oh
like
man, we should get him on. That's even better.
He's heavily involved in like the Terrifier stuff, right?
Yeah, he's like
Oh,
a movie
really?
producer. Yeah.
Oh wow, cool. That's awesome.
So yeah, there's that X-Men animated review podcast that you should go check out, so you can hear the thoughts on that. It is one podcast of many over here at the United Federation of Podcasts, where we talk about many
Murphy.
things like.
You done stuff. What have you done?
Well, I too happen to have a podcast on this one called Hold Up, a movie podcast, where I co-host this podcast with our very angry contestant Davan Skelhorn, and him and I get into heated debates about films.
Actually, I felt the last one was the most respectful one you guys have done yet.
It was the
You were
most
getting more
disrespectful one, in my opinion.
Yeah, Davin went out of his way to tell me you were very unhappy with the fact that they bagged on the original Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yes.
That movie, actually, if you like, there's a show I really like called The Best Movies Never Made. It's a podcast, and they read the scripts for movies that didn't get made. And they did Super Mario Brothers on a series of episodes where they did all the different versions of the movies that almost got made before that one, many of which were much closer to the source material. That one, the people that made it were like known for wanting to make a cyberpunk something other movie. That was what they wanted to do. And they just threw a Mario skin on it and said, "This is Mario now."
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I am
man,
interested to
that's
watch
it.
it again. It's been a very long time.
Oh, you
I
should
don't
watch it.
remember
You
much
should.
about
It's
it.
great.
I love
It's-
Bob
it's
Hoskins.
worth it.
Oh, he's great.
He's great.
He's
in
good
this
in
one.
it. Like,
And on our podcast, I showed Davan I have the MVD Blu-ray of Double Dragon that I have yet to watch.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah,
My
he-
sister and I have been great enjoyers of that. How horrible that movie is. That so much so that we call each other ugly and homely. That's our thing.
Is it worse than Street Fighter? Like that was a rough one.
Oh, it's a terrible movie.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's a terrible movie. But the movie also got a game adaptation.
Right.
Yeah, and the game adaptation isn't too bad.
So yeah, we talked games on the last episode, and the next episode, which is next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, Jaemeel, but
Not
next
this Wednesday.
Wednesday,
Okay.
we're doing a music episode where we're
Oh,
covering
fun.
Harder They Come, Sing Street, and The Sound of Metal. So that
Oh.
should be.
I haven't seen any of those.
Yeah, me either.
Should be
I haven't
a
even
good
heard of
time.
any of those.
Oh,
Really?
Sound
Sound
of
of
Metal,
Metal
was up for an Oscar a couple years ago.
Yeah, and Sixth
Yeah.
Street was extremely. People thought that it deserved more run than it did.
And I
very-
watched Harder They Come, and it was an adventure. I'll
I
give
feel
it
like
that.
that's a
It was
Criterion movie, is it?
It's an old 70s, like, it apparently introduced, like, reggae to the American culture or something like that.
Oh.
I'm sure Davin's going to give me all of his IRE news about it next week.
Stop, Chris. We talked about this.
what I love this, like this is the beauty of doing this, because I usually listen to the podcast, the movie one on audio version. It's usually I'm at the gym or I'm driving or something, so I get to listen to this stuff. But I just love Jameel's face. It's so like just you can see every etch of pain just screeching across it when something comes up. He's just like, "Ah."
Yeah.
It was so nice to get to see you guys in real life like a month ago.
Yes.
That
That
was
was
great.
Hopefully we get to do that again soon.
Speaking of seeing some more of Jameel's face, and as well as Dave, you can catch them over at the Super Mater Brothers podcast, where they talk about all things like reality shows like Big Brother and Survivor, and the Mary Mater Marvel Society, which is kind of the tie-in for tonight's episode,
Yeah.
where they talk about.
David's still debating on doing
David.
Bad Web. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, if you guys do all the others, did you do Morbius and
Mm-mm.
Venom?
No.
I mean, it's gonna suck. You know it's gonna suck.
Yes, I
Had a
know.
slow
So
year this year.
It's
Say it.
going to.
we'll be covering Deadpool. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Be a slow year. And then we also we like to talk about Star Trek over at Live Long and Podcast.
Yes.
We do Deep Space Nine reviews and stuff.
They had a
Yeah,
debate
we're on
night last
tonight.
night.
Yeah, there was
We're on
debate
tonight.
9 last night with
Debate 9, yeah.
Sophia and Kevin, and then they were on tonight talk about It's Only a Paper Moon, an episode from Deep Space Nine, 7th season. Aaron Eisenberg is Nog, James Darren as Vic Fontaine. It's a great episode.
I'm a fantastic. My favorite Star Trek is Deep Space Nine. So
Yeah, like we're almost
Yeah,
wrapped
I'm
up that
enjoying
show, so check out all our podcasts over there.
do you guys pick a favorite episode at the run of this? It'd be really hard for me to pick, but I think I have one.
Move along home.
Let's move along.
Move along.
Calamarain.
And when they showed up again on
Yeah.
Lower
Decks
Decks,
was
I
great.
was pretty happy.
We got that the Star Trek, we got the Mater Brothers, we also got the Hellbound podcast, the horror movie podcast with Alice Blackburn and Michael Chan, as well as Eamon on Track, where he covers the latest or not so latest albums with a guest. I don't know if
I think Jody's up next. I just don't know
Jody's
when
up
it's
next?
happening.
One day I'll be on. One day.
Was I the last one?
I
potentially.
think potentially you were the most recent guest. Yes.
Nice.
So-
That was fun. That was a fun time.
yeah, no, it's good. Thank you for being
I'll
on.
be
yeah.
on one day.
That was
I'll be on it
fun
one day.
times, and that's the fun times here at Trivia Debates. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for this
Sorry.
marvelous episode.
Nice shirt.
Thank
Jaemeel
you.
showing off the Bloodline shirt.
The Bloodline shirt.
It looks
Black
like
Panther?
a Bloodline shirt.
Black
am I wrong?
Panther. Black Panther.
Black
Oh,
Panther,
wow.
but Funkos.
It looked like a Roman Reigns Funko Pop at the top. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's quite all right. M'Baku and Roman Reigns look exactly the same.
Exactly the same. I'm gonna just end this episode before I embarrass myself anymore. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. It
Take
was
care.
fun.
Sam,
everyone.
happy birthday.
Bye bye.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Sam.
birthday, Sam.